Hello, welcome to Camera Collection. This video isn't so much about vintage cameras or film. So, what the hell are we doing here? Did you ever lust after a Hasselblad X-Pan? Did you ever use the pano mode on a point and shoot camera in the 90s? Or how about a disposable panoramic camera? Panoramic images are really cool. They're like a movie, but somehow different. People have talked about how you would create a digital camera that shoots panoramic. Sure, you can crop in the camera, but is that really it? You could build your own sensor in a lab that's widescreen. Sure, let me head down to Radio Shack. Or you could get one of these, an anamorphic lens. That sounds expensive, right? Well, they used to be, like more than a car expensive. So a brief history of anamorphic lenses. To make the image widescreen without using more film, the lens has a special element to squeeze the image onto the film. In post or at the cinema, the image is de-squeezed to create a widescreen image. Generally, these lenses, even the expensive ones, have some funky characteristics like softness on the edges, unique flares, focus breathing. Sounds fun, right? Okay, so the lens squeezed the image onto the film, in our case, a digital sensor. The squeeze factor determines how much squeeze that image will have. A 2x will compress the image by 2. In recent years, the market has had many variations on anamorphics. Since many of the digital cinema cameras have a 16:9 sensor, a 1.3x squeeze will compress that image, and when unsqueezed, will yield something close to a 2:35 aspect ratio. This is one of the classic ratios for anamorphic cinema presentations. Now, a traditional film camera with a 4:3 aspect ratio using 2x anamorphics is going to give you something like a 2.66 to 1 ratio. Also very cool. You know what other camera has a 2.7 to 1 ratio? The Hasselblad X-Pan. So, thinking about that, I picked up my Sony A7IV with a 4:3 sensor in photo mode only. Using the Sirui Venus Anamorphics with a 1.6 squeeze. In that setup, I'm able to get images that are a little over 2 to 1 aspect ratio. Not quite X-Pan, but they're pretty cool. The lenses are marked just as you would find any other lenses, 35mm, 50mm, and most of the optics in the lens are spherical, just some of the elements that give you the squeeze to the horizontal. So when you're thinking about the lens to choose, you're going to have to do some more math. I know that photographers love to talk about crop factors and other nonsense. The 35mm is still a 35mm. The physics don't change, but the field of view has changed. So the 35mm with a 1.6x squeeze is going to give you a field of view of a 22mm lens horizontally. If it were a 2x squeeze, it'd be something like a 17.5mm. I think Atlas has a 2x 18mm lens. So a field of view of 9mm. Wow. That one will set you back 18K. All right, so if you're a fan of the widescreen, or maybe you already picked up some of these inexpensive anamorphics, I encourage you to give them a try on your photo camera. Thanks for watching.